and welcome to Learn ADS in 5 minutes. This is tutorial 21 on a very interesting topic of doing reverse engineering, or as some people call it, A versus B modeling using the ADS tools and techniques. Now, let me warn you that this video will not be completed in 5 minutes, but one thing I can assure you, every minute you spend on this video will be worth of your time in learning some of the very useful hacks which you could use in your daily life when you do different type of circuit design. Now let's understand the context of this video. Now many a times we obtain an S parameter file or a reference file, and we are pretty happy looking at the characteristics, and this circuit meets all the required specification which we want for our circuit design. Now, one useful characteristics offered by this filter is that we don't need to look and set up an optimization goal or to design with a certain constraint in mind. We simply want to replicate this behavior and want to create an equivalent circuit where we can match the behavior of this circuit. Now here in this case, I'm showing a very simple low pass filter design, whereas your actual component could be not a low pass filter, could be any passive components, or even for that matter even active component. So here I have two reference file, one for low pass filter and one for band pass filter, and I'm going to explain some tips and tricks for you to create an equivalent model to get exactly the same behavior as some of these published part available online from various vendors. So let's get started. And also, it is very important to mention here that I have been making tutorial videos in this series, and I would recommend you to watch those tutorials video before continuing to this video, because we are going to use plenty of tips and tricks which I have explained in some of the previous videos. So if you haven't watched that video, then you might feel left out on how to do certain operations which I'm going to explain. Well, in any case, let's get started. So here I'm going to open a new schematic, and in this refer to our earlier tutorial video, we already have a template made to shorten our work. So here in this case, in the first template, I have the same low pass filter as parameter file, which is going to act as a reference. And then based on my initial understanding of the profile, looking at the graph, I think this performance can be met by this fifth order filter. So I created an equivalent network, and also I made every component value here as optimizable. Now, if you have watched optimization video in this tutorial series, you will understand how to set up an optimization, how to make these component values optimizable. Now, both of these circuits are terminated with 50 ohm impedance. So we will have two port S matrix for the first circuit and a two port matrix with termination number 3 and 4 for our equivalent circuit. Now I have inserted a measurement equation, and that measurement equation you can filter out very easily from the library palette, and it looks something like this. And I have added two measurement equation, one to calculate the delta of S21, which is basically subtracting magnitude of S21 minus magnitude of S43, which basically corresponds to the transmission response of these two circuits. And similarly, I've created a measurement equation to subtract respective return losses magnitude for these two circuits. If you want, you can add more difference deltas in case you want to add for S22 or S12 and so on. But in this case, these two only will suffice. I also created a new variable here called match tolerance, and I give it some number 0.001, and I will explain now how to use this. Now, when we set up a regular optimization goal, we usually set it to match S21 with certain criteria, or to match S11. But in this case, the way I have set up optimization goal is to optimize delta S21 and delta S11, which is basically the difference between my reference circuit and my actual circuit. And here I have set up the optimization limit line as inside, not greater than, not equal to inside. And I have given minus match tolerance to plus match tolerance, which basically means within the plus minus of this tolerance here, I want to match the result. Now this you can set as per your convenience. So for example, if you set it to 0.01, basically you are looking at, if you translate into dB, you are looking at 40 dB of match between the two curves. Or if you set it to 001, that means you are looking at a 60 dB match between these two circuits. With this basic setup, we could go ahead and run our optimization, but let me simulate this first. And let's insert a template in data display. And here I'm going to use an LPF template. So basically this display here represents the graphs. So the red curve is the reference circuit and the blue is our current result. And you can see we are nowhere close to the reference result we have. And the top two graphs depicts the dB difference between these two. So once we achieve our target, you will see the whole graph across the whole frequency would be below minus 60 dB once we are able to match these two performance. With these two basic setups done, let's start our optimization process, and you can start to see ADS changes the value and start matching the red curve without we having to worry about what frequency, what should be the spec and things like that. So once ADS starts going through this optimization process, you could also use some of the hacks to change the optimization engine. For example, right now I'm pretty close in terms of meeting the error, but not exactly zero. I can pause the optimization. I can click on algorithm. I can change it to gradient and I can let it run. And now you can see the error is zero. That means our performance has perfectly matched between the two circuits. So I can go ahead and update my design so that the components have now the new values which are matching, which is matching the response of both of these circuits. And notice in the top level graph, we have minus 60 dB or below difference between our reference circuits and our actual circuits. So less than 2 minutes, we are able to match the circuit performance and create an equivalent circuit for ourselves very, very easily using this hack. Now, this was LPF, so probably easier to handle. So what about a case where we have a little more complicated circuit? For example, let me insert another template. And in this case, I will insert a band pass, filter template. And once we start the simulation, let's put the graph on one side. And now also I have created templates. So you can see the use of templates, how it is speeding up my job because I just need to set it up once and then I can reuse it. Now here in this template, you can notice we are again very far off from our reference design. And I have already set like a low pass filter. I have set some basic component values, made them optimizable the way we want. And also remember in our actual circuit, we have some loss and some roll-off factor, and that in a reactive circuit will depend largely on the Q factor, as we learned in one of the previous videos. So I have defined even the Q factors as optimizable components, and accordingly I'm using the Q factors in these components here. Now when we are faced with this kind of circuit where you have more number of unknowns and we have three deltas for which we are looking at, so we are setting up goal for S21, S11 and S22, and then also defining the mesh tolerance. So all the concept remain the same. And when we try to optimize this kind of circuit, what you will notice, ADS starts trying to match these two performances, but because the number of unknowns are more and we have more, goals to match up, sometime it may not be like that quick what we saw in earlier circuits. So here you could use some tricks, and when you have simultaneously many goals getting mashed up, optimization time might be a little increased. So you need to be a little patient, but once you have the basic infrastructure set, once you have the right knowledge of the equivalent circuit, because your basic engineering skills have to be still there, but software can speed up the whole calculation process for you. So what you will notice here, when your goals are large and number of variables are large, sometimes it is not possible straight away to reach to that value which you are looking at. So in those cases, one of the tricks I can tell you in order to achieve your results faster, so we'll pause this optimization and we will store whatever we have obtained till now. So we'll go ahead and update our design. And once we update our design and we just simulate it once to make sure everything is okay. Yes, we have. Now, the main idea or the trick to use here is to use one male goal at a time. So for example, I will try to match S21 first and not worrying about other parameters. So I will go ahead and optimize and try to match our transmission response first. So now you can see the optimization is happening much quickly and I'm pretty close to my ideal response or the reference response of our circuit. And once that matches up, I can enable the other knobs to be turned. So here we have the error as 0. So within 40 dB of resolution, our response is meshed. So I will go ahead and update my design. Now one must be wondering, in the previous video I used 40 dB. Yeah, here I'm using, 60 dB, and here I'm using 40 dB. Now, once one goal is met, I can go ahead and activate either both of them, or I can activate the second goal, so that now we have two goals to take care of at the same time. Now, once we start this optimization, you can see we are moving much quicker, and the simulator is trying to match up to this S11 plot as well, and we are very close to meeting our goal. Now, once we match S11 as well, we can pause this, we can close, and we can update the design for the second goal also. And finally, we can even enable the third goal and we can go ahead and optimize so that we can start to see even more improvement in S22. So now you can notice with this simple hack, you are able to match all the responses very nicely, and the error function is down near to 0, and we are able to achieve the performance. So for the sake of time, I would stop here and I would update my design and just run simulation once. And what you saw, in around 10 to 12 minutes, we are able to hack two RF circuits, and we are having a very good equivalent circuit of both of them. So hopefully this useful trick will help you in doing your day-to-day job and doing your things much more efficiently, and you can come up with a good product meeting the right specification as needed for your job. Thanks a lot for watching this tutorial video. Look forward to see you in next tutorial video.